tried to buy Charlie's soul in the hand. Where it began, Candace was a liberal queen, calling Trump a fascist, roasting the whole scene. Then she saw the cash flow, right? Said fuck your feelings, I'm switching tonight. Now she's yelling Jews run France and the moon's a gay eye. Bitch went full 10-4, never gonna stop. Hands reaching out, super chatting $30 to hear her scream and shout. Sweet Candace Owens, what, baba bitch. She's crazier than a motherfucking light bulb on a meth twitch. Good lord, what a switch. Used to hate the right, now she's sucking that griff dick. Sweet Candace Owens, fuck, crazy as a la bubba doing coke with Donald Duck. Yeah, bridges packing heat, that's the word on the street. Charlie Kirk got whacked by my side in the front row seat. French foreign legend, Egyptian plays maroon beret pastor. She connects the dots with the Sharpie and 4 rebel blaster. Scream they coming for my wig while selling mugs to say John Mikhail's the diva outshining Beyonce. She told Joe Rogan Tyler's lovers in on the hit. Posted 50 slide carousels of pure bad shit. Says Bill Ackman tried to buy Charlie's soul in the Hamptons. Then the matrons in the drag squad with silenced tampons. Australia banned her ass at not too much hate. She said that's just proof the globalists are at the gate. Oh, she blocked Ben Shapiro, called him a Zionist shill. Now she's drinking Kanye's piss, popping truth pills, hanging with Nick Fuentes, sipping on that Jew hate swill. And we're all just watching the views stack higher still. Sweet Candace Owens, shit, crazier than a goddamn la bubble, getting candle waxed on a pirate ship. Yeah, sweet Candace Owens, flip. She is just too stacked. Them Candace Owens, goddamn, bad shit as a la bubble, fucking a traffic cam. Candace Owens, boom goes the grift. She's the queen of the tinfoil room, and we're all just singing this shit. Yeah.
Where it began, Candace was a liberal queen, calling Trump a fascist, roasting the whole scene. Then she saw the cash.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it all going? How you guys doing? What's crack-a-lacking and shit? Yeah, we're out there having ourselves a great time. Talking about the Candace Owens. I don't even know why I'm like, let's go live and I'll talk about Candace Owens. Yeah, because that lady crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna say that bitch. 5150. All right, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe that's gendered language. Maybe somebody will get mad. Maybe somebody will cancel me. Okay, we're in 2025. We're in Trump's America. I don't know how much of that I have to worry about at this point in time. Now, I'm not saying that I could bring back the polar bear, and do the polar bear stuff, which I don't want to do. I'm just saying in 2025, Trump's America probably way more appropriate and allowed to happen than all the way back in 2012 when I did it like an idiot. I'm just saying, we're at a weird place right now, right? The word retard is back. What else can we get? Might as well. If the tech oligarchs are running the train on the American democracy experiment, taking all of our resources for what they can get, then what can we get? Some naughty words, some dirty phrases. I don't fucking know. I don't know. The song is skipping. Is it skipping? It's just rap. Wow, this is too far. It could be much worse and funnier. I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna disagree with you. I think it's funny. Because this girl, look, here's the thing. All right, here's the thing. Candace Owens is fucking crazy. She probably thinks she's like JFK. She's out there going she's thinking the God's chosen people are trying to choose her for elimination. Is what she's out there fucking saying, essentially. There's a lot going on, Music Man, with Candace Owens. I wish I could find a video that's a full on straight breakdown of it. Because there's so fucking much to cover. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Listen here. Do I come down to the strip club where you're working and knock the dick out of your mouth? No, I don't. Okay, we are Charlie Kirk with that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Go back watching Nora. Okay, Mikey Middison. Okay, go back and do that shit. All right, we got a Rational here for $10. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. See how it is? Rational comes in with the support. Talking about Sydney Sweeney. More like Sydney Twitty McDreamy. I don't even know. She's just got great. I'm a little caffeinated right now. I'm gonna get more caffeinated. Why not? Be a little bit funny. All right. He says here, Sydney Sweeney gets asked about how white people shouldn't joke about having better genes, but Zionist Jews in Israel can call themselves God's chosen people while committing a genocide. Let's yeah, man, there's I thought that was really funny because people were basically just like, hey Sydney, why are you mad? Why aren't you mad at this obvious play on words? Why aren't you mad at what a marketing company did? Like, why aren't you? She's just like, I don't care. And fine. I think people getting upset about that are ridiculous. I think there's way more things to get upset about. Okay. There's a local weed company in my town that made fun of that, like a billboard. I wonder if I can find a picture of it. But a local company in town made fun of it. Like, no one actually cares. This is the thing we have to remember. No one actually gives a shit. All right. Like, no one actually fucking cares about half of this shit. Okay. Like, because the discourse is so flash in the pan, right? Like, no one really cares. You're into Melissa Barrera now? Oh God, that's stuck about a downgrade. Jesus. Did you see her acting in Abigail? Like, everyone's like, they like her. She's okay, whatever, man. I support her right to have an opinion and not be fired for it. But let's not pretend here that she's, she did that Beast movie. That was pretty not good from what I heard. Anyway, yeah, the thing is, like, look, I'll kind of go back to Star Wars here for a hot second, right? Leslie Headland made a very interesting and compelling point the other day. She said, and I'm paraphrasing, she said that like the legacy of Star Wars is probably more, or at least maybe now Star Wars is more about the content being made about Star Wars rather than Star Wars itself. You know what I mean? And that makes sense. I'm paraphrasing, I'm destroying it, but it makes a lot of sense because it's true. Right? The conversation that we have now is more about, like, what did the Chuds say about Star Wars rather than what's actually in Star Wars. Okay? Right? Like, all of that shit, that actually makes a lot of fucking sense. Like, it's like the cultural zeitgeist has now moved on to the commentary rather than the official art, right? Or the product, I should say. And this is exactly why South Park has chosen to go the route that it's going in regards to tackling Donald Trump. Because South Park has always gone after pop culture. Well, now politics is pop culture. Okay, attacking things is pop culture. People are angry, they're upset, they're frustrated, right? All of these things that would be solved with a little bit of self-love. And I'm talking about firing off some knuckle children or double-clicking your mouse. Okay, if you don't have anyone to get you there, it's up to you to get you there. But you still got to get you there. And it doesn't matter if you're into women or men or, bisexual, transgendered, otherkin from the planet Omicron Persei 8. It doesn't matter. Whatever gets you there, gets you there. Okay. Unless it's children and then you're disgusting. And then, you know what, you should probably seek a lot of help. So I'm kind of looking at the furry community, or at least in some ways, parts of the anime community, which still kind of weird me out. Not all anime. I'm going to hashtag that. Okay. If you like anime, don't get your panties in a twist. I'm not saying all anime is aimed at that, but there's a bit of it that is. Okay. And I don't know what you would call that. Is it like was it the Shada? What is the other one? Shada's the boys. Is it not Futanari? That's the chicks with dicks. Anyway, there's some weird subsections to anime is what I'm trying to say. Okay, for how mainstream anime is, I'm surprised that hasn't actually gone and caused more controversy. You know, like legitimately curious about that. Like, why hasn't, like with all mainstream anime, with all how that's playing out right now, why there is not anything about all the crazy shit that's come out in the main, like why is it that like the Christian right wing isn't going after Futanari? It's out there. Okay, it's out there. All right. Hentai is out there. I mean, although hentai's become relatively normalized, I guess. You know, just saying. It's weird shit. But the point I was trying to make, though, is this, that right now, the craziest shit, right? The craziest shit that you can say is what gets attention. I don't hate Melissa Barrera. Okay. I don't hate Melissa Barrera at all. All right. You know, sorry, hold on. Pump the brakes here. What? Hold on. Music Man here says, I'm going to masturbate later to a trans woman. Yet I did that yesterday and the few days before that to a cis woman. I'm still angry. So masturbation or even the real thing won't help. Okay, fine. Fair point. Fair point. You jerked off to a trans woman. The femboy. Is it a fem? Is there a difference between a femboy and a trans woman? I don't even know. Either way, sometimes hard to tell. Be fair. I've seen some and you're like, what? What? You know, it makes you question everything you know, to be honest with you. And when you see a trans woman that you know is a man and your brain is all like, your lizard brain is all like boobies. And then everything else is like, but they have a dick. And you're like, that's a non-starter for me. You know what I mean? I just like only one, you know, too many dicks in the cookie. You can't have that. Too many dicks. Check DM, bro. I don't like where I'm going that. Yes, there is. Please get your terms right, Matt. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know all the terms these days. I left California a long time ago. I'm not up to speed on all the terminology. Oh God. Sorry. Caught me off guard. I wish they would just say they're gay. Now, Tracy, who are you referring to on that one? People who jack off to trans women? Now, this is where it gets kind of weird because like if you know that it's a man, okay, but you don't see that necessarily. You move that out of your brain and you're just looking at the feminine side of it. And the feminine side of it is what gets you there. Does that mean that you're gay? Because if you're attracted to not the masculine, but the feminine, right? Like, is it just, you got to kind of ask yourself that question, you know? And I don't know if, well, here's the thing. I have a friend of mine, transgender, got the boob surgery done. And I don't think she said she was never going to get the bottom surgery done, but she's lesbian. Okay. She's lesbian. And I always thought that was kind of weird because every time I come across a trans woman, not every time maybe, but at least in my personal experience, if I meet a trans woman, they're always in a lesbian relationship with another woman. And I'm just telling you, it's straight up. It's just like, you know, it's straight up. Like that's their preference, but that's what I see. Hold on. I'm not gay. I'm straight, and trans women are women. They're not men. Don't be trans. I'm not being transphobic. I'm not saying like, don't beat your meat to some other meat. I'm just saying like, you know, like there's terminology that I don't get. That's all it boils down to. Have your fun. Do what you're going to do. We've talked about this before. I'm totally okay with that. Did I already check the DM? Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, okay, I'll bring up the video. H Bart's made a video. Randall put it perfectly. Beautiful chicks with big dicks that put mine to shame. Yep. It's chicks with dicks. Best of both worlds. We're gonna further quote Clerks on this one. All right, let me find. I need to do this. Share screen. Make sure I gotta get it all prepped before I show anything. Anyway, exactly my point is suppressed childhood trauma. I don't know if I would say it's suppressed childhood trauma. I mean, you can't sit there and think that everybody is born into the same body. You know, you ever noticed like the ball sack has a line down the center of it? There's a strip down the center of a ball sack. Okay, don't believe me. Look at your ball sack. It used to be a vagina, but it grew into balls when you were in the there's all of these things. Trans women can be hot. Yeah, no one's saying that they can't. And then he immediately follows up by saying that Adriana Arjona is queen. Adria Arjona. Some trans women have penis, some have vagina. They don't all have a penis. I think at that point, if you have a vagina, you're no longer really, you've transitioned completely. You know what I'm saying? But who cares? What did you walk into? Fuck if I know, man. Smiling Friends had Dante from Clerks on a recent episode. Nice. Good to see Brian O'Halloran getting some work these days. All right, hold on here. So, what's really funny about this video here, is that H-Barts made this. And this is a video he put together on Sora about me. I'm assuming. Anyway, this is kind of scary.
Matt Jarbo. Matt, you're the king of boulders.
Well, I'll take that, Mr. President.
Yeah, I'm
Matt
the king
Jarbo.
of boulders.
Matt, you're the king of boulders.
Well, I'll take that, Mr. President.
That does sound like me. I mean, it sounds like a very strict. But what's really funny about it, for one, my beard never gets to be that long. I can't grow it like that. It looks like dainty ass pubes. Additionally, this, honest to God, looks more like my younger brother than it does me. So there's that. Arjona, oh Jesus Christ. Well, that can be transsexual. Depends how a woman identify. Whatever. Again, whatever you're into, it's fine. Speaking of ball sack seam, have you read Morning Glory Milking Farm? I've heard of Morning Glory Milking Farm. I have not read Morning Glory Milking Farm. I know the story of it. It is, I don't understand romanticy. I don't understand what's going on with that world. I decided to kind of do some research into it a couple weeks ago, which is how I came across Morning Glory Milking Farm. And you would think it's right up my alley. For those of you who don't know, I'm paraphrasing this. Morning Glory Milking Farm is a story. I think it's definitely like erotica, but it's about a woman, I think, who masturbates bulls, but the bulls are like anthropomorphic, and like she falls in love with like one bull, and like it becomes like a 50 Shades of Grey type situation, I think. Hold on here. Let me please tell me that someone put together a fucking trailer. Like, I just would love to find a brief. Okay, here we go. This is, I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's good or bad. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna check this as a TikTok. Talking about the Morning Glory Milking Farm. And then, yes, of course, I'm gonna get to your super chat, H-Bars, but this just caught my eye. Okay.
This book was almost a 5-star. Yeah, it's Morning Glory Milking Farm. A quick summary of this book. Our girl is broke. She's got credit card debt. She's got loans. And do you know what? She just really wants a good coffee. She is fed up of that 90-cent gas station coffee. She just wants to go to Starbucks. So, yeah, she gets a job milking minotaurs. And do you know what? I get it, sis. I get it. The economy is rough. You just want your little honey latte, and this is what you need to do in order to get that. Was this a wild ride? Absolutely, with no pun intended. It was the most unique book I've ever read, and it was extremely detailed. Now, in my last update, I said this book is like Zootopia. It is exactly like Zootopia. She visits the neighbourhoods and sees all their different houses with different sized doorways and driveways and things like that to accommodate, I'm going to call it their order form or their species. So yeah, imagine Zootopia, but make it sperm bank. The descriptions of this girl's job will haunt me forever, frankly. And also cows. No, I'm kind of scared of you now, cows, because the descriptions of the spice, I don't even want to call it spice, but the spicy scenes, there is detailed description of cow. Yeah. Can't look them in the eye anymore, which is a shame because cows used to be my favourite animal and now I'm scared of them. So, would I recommend this book? Yeah. Do you know what? If you have an open mind, do it. You will be haunted by the descriptions of where fingers and tongues are going. But you'll also have a great time. There are, I think, 3 more books in this series. They're not all about the minotaurs. They're about different species. I don't know yet if I'm going to read them. I think the next one's about a breeding farm. So, yeah, strap in. Now hear me out.
So that, my friends, is book talk and romantasy and all sorts of shit that I don't quite know. It's milking minotaurs. So yeah. And there we go. There we go. It is crazy that book exists. It is crazy that we live in a world. Actually, I'm not even against it, right? I'm not even against it. If you think about it, it's a person who came up with a depraved erotica, romantasy type story, like 50 Shades of Grey, about a woman who takes a job at basically a sperm bank for minotaurs. And her job is to jerk off minotaurs. And she falls in love with one of the minotaurs of which she is doing the jerking. This is a real book. You can buy it in paperback. What a fucking time to be alive. What a fucking time to be alive. Well, yeah, it's totally fictional. 50 Shades of Bull. Yeah, it's something like that. God, 50 Shades of Cray. That's also Candace Owens. Anyway, let's get some super chats here. H-Bars for 5. Thank you, buddy. Says, does Bix Colleen have the best cake in the Star Wars galaxy? I'm assuming he's referring to Booty. That would be something that I would say, she hasn't done the gold bikini until you get a Star Wars character that rocks a gold bikini on screen. You're never going to beat Carrie Fisher, 1983's Return of the Jedi. Now, granted, you weren't even alive for like 17 more years, but you're still not going to top that. Now, you youngins who only know new Star Wars, I could see why you would think she's an absolute snack, as the kids would say. I should ask RJ what his middle school students think, because I think he's becoming one of them mentally online. But anyway, I guess. And to think about, Jason Momoa is the one currently tapping that. Also, H-Bar, thank you, says, I got a lot more AI Jarbo videos. I'll send them when I get home in 30 minutes. Yeah, I'll be on. Oh, you're getting home in 30 minutes? Wow, you're getting out early tonight. You were getting out at least 3 hours early. So thank you. Appreciate that. I would take a look at that. Maybe the character pulls a nurse from Road Trip and makes them climax through their ass. Yeah, maybe. Absolutely, maybe. That could be a thing. That could be an absolute thing. Blink Twice white bikini. I don't know. You have to send me a picture of that. I haven't seen Blink Twice. Isn't that Zoe Kravitz film? Right? That's the one that she did, Zoe Kravitz. Let's see here. Okay, fine. I will look it up. Okay. Blink Twice bikini. It's amazing how fast I can type with one hand. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. You guys, I get it. Here we go. I get it. So that's what he's talking about. Oh, you got PTO and you're off till Sunday? Nice. Good. Take a break. Enjoy the holidays. Have a good time. I only have today and tomorrow. Well, I have tomorrow off, and then I work over the holiday. So, got to make that money. Got to make that money. Where am I? I lost my place. There we go. Yeah, damn that ass. That's true. Yeah. Let's see here. It's basically about Epstein Island without kids, but a lot of other dark shit. Okay. Matt's got one hand in his pocket and the other one is typing. No, you could sit there. Hold on. Like, he's got one hand in his pocket and the other one is stringing a banjo. No, that doesn't work. If I was a woman that had a vagina, that'd be an interesting euphemism for masturbation. Strumming a banjo, right? Because she's got one hand in her pocket and the other one strumming a banjo. That works. That works. Only on Jarbo's stream were Candace Owens and bitches in white bikinis in the same show. Not only me. I don't really have a point to all of this. Now Alanis Morissette. We're all over the place. Spherical Man says, so my vacation just started. I don't go back to work till the 8th. Damn, dude. That's a long vacation. Are you going anywhere? Or are you just kicking it at home? Yeah. All right. Let me see here. Hold on. Is there a video of all of hold on. I'm asking Grok if there's any videos about Candace Owens that have her crazy highlights so we can take a look at that. Just staying home? Yeah, I get it. Right now a lot of people are, I think. We already booked our next cruise and we're going to be going next year. So that's going to be nice. Looking forward to that. And then for right now, yeah, it's got my kiddo's birthday next week. And then I'm going to go see, what am I going to go see? I'm going to go see Kill Bill on Monday the 8th. I'm going to go see it. And I'm going to hopefully get my friend to come with me because I don't want to go see it alone. What time am I going next year? Christmas. I'm not going to Alaska. I'm going to Mexico. We might, and then but we're talking about doing in Alaska, but it's like it's really one or the other. But Mexico's going to be fine. We're going over Christmas. It's over Christmas. It's going to be fun. Finally going to, take a vacation during Christmas, take the girls down to Mexico, go do all that stuff. It's going to be grand, but that's not till next year. So it gives me enough time to pay it off. Holy shit. All right. Let's see. Wait, I follow Ryan Johnson. Why do I follow Ryan Johnson on Twitter? God, no. Okay. Oh, they've got, I guess they're doing like a Wake Up Dead Men comes out pretty soon. Where will I depart from? I'm going out of LA. Don't piss off the cartel. I don't think I'll be going anywhere near the cartel. I'll try not to. Jarbo can't say anything bad about Adria because she's close enough in age to him. I get, I mean, okay, hold on. How old is she? She's what, like 30? She's 33. I'm 10 years older than she is. You're closer in age to her than I am, by the way. Just so you know. Just so we're clear. You are closer in age to her than I am. Okay? Just to give you an idea. Give you a thought about where we are. Pulled a double feature, Kill Bill and Five Nights at Freddy's too. Dude, I can't do that. Like, I think I'm going to be able to go see like a 7:00 show of Kill Bill, and that's not going to get out till like fucking close to midnight. So but Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair is, that's something I have to see. I'll make the time for that one. And that kind of goes back to my point I keep talking about with movies, is that right now going to the theater is not the priority, right? I'll watch them when they hit home video in a couple weeks. Movie theaters, you know, I love them. I do. I'll never not love them, but there's also a reality of the situation that we have to face, which is that they simply are not expanding. You know, my local theater put in a shit ton of D-box seats in prime seating areas just so they could squeeze out a few more fucking dollars and make it harder for, you know, people to actually go and get the prime seats without paying that fucking premium. Like, fuck that shit. Let's see, my Avatar tickets for 4 of us is 86. Yeah, mine was like 30 something. So, yeah, Parallax, didn't you hear? He got a girlfriend. Taking her with the parents to go see Avatar. I'm kidding. Anyway. All right, let me see if that popped up there. Okay. Here, we'll take a look here. Oh, this is 3 months ago. I want something more recent. All right. This one. Oh, these guys. Okay. What is this? The Carter family. I'm trying to find the Candace complete craziness, but I'm finding like the Grok kind of got it wrong. It's looking for shit, but it's not like giving me small little videos. It's let's see here. Okay. The Milk Bar. Let's see. There's a guy here on Twitter that covers Candace Owens. Okay. Here we go. We'll start with this dude. We'll start with this guy. We'll talk about Cray-Cray Owens. My friend Elmo was going, where's Elmo's wife? Where's Elmo's wife? You know? Let's see. Music Man says, I might have to stop going right before my second film started. Loud motherfuckers. But my third film, myself and the audience were one. We had a blast. Yeah. Look, it is like, you know, hit or miss in many ways. I think more often than not, you're going to get a, you know, you're going to get a hit, right? People are going to be involved, but you never really know. And it's just like, you know, if you can control the environment at your house, control the environment at your house, sort of thing. All right, let's take a look here at this. We're going to watch a little bit of Candace Owens craziness. Okay, so this guy here, Nathan Livingstone, aka Milk Bar TV, a freelance filmmaker, video editor, totally deranged human being, Candace Owens says. He says here, compilation of just some of the many times Candace Owens has claimed her life is at risk / she's being attacked while providing zero proof. Right? Because Candace Owens right now is under the impression, she's under the belief, according to her tweets, that the French government has put out a $1.5 million hit on Candace Owens. That the hit squad is consisting of at least one French femme fatale assassin and one man who is from Israel, an Israeli assassin, because it's, you know, the Jews, right? And so that's what she is saying right now. And so she's made a lot of claims about this. This is a good little clip right here.
This person writes, God bless you. Please be careful. Joan Rivers got killed for exposing Michelle Obama, the Hollywood secret. I appreciate that. I also know that if they want to kill you, they will. I mean, that's the truth. And that's a sad thing to say. But at least you'll know who did it. It was the Frankists.
I just want to be clear. Anything happens to me, blame the Zionists.
In a full year of plots against my family, and we have been in just warrior mode for so long, and I just can't even, they just won't even just let me enjoy an end of pregnancy. They're like, no, what else can we get? What else can we find? And like I said, her piece matched too much the most recent Zionist attack. There is a figurative bounty on my head. Apparently influencers making up to $1,000 to make anti-Candace and anti-Tucker Carlson videos. The people have given us names and said, this is the marketing campaign that's paying for this, or this is the organization foundation that offered me money for this. But you have to present concrete proof. Like, I obviously am aware that the campaign is happening, but we need to actually see the email. So you have to submit the email that you received or the text message that you received to make a video about Candace Owens. I just want to know who specifically is behind it, so we can out that person. $10K is now the bounty for that information. Send it to tips@candaceowens.com. Emmanuel Macron.
So think about that. She says that influencers are being paid up to $1,000 to make videos about Candace Owens. I'm going to tell you this right fucking now. Influencers, I'm not even saying the word influencers, just general dipshits on YouTube, okay? They don't need $1,000 to go after somebody. They don't need that kind of money, okay? All it takes, literally all it takes, is one person, like the right person, to say, like, to criticize you over the right thing, and people will sense blood in the water, and they will come out hard, and they'll come out swinging, and they won't know what the fuck they're talking about like 99% of the time. But it doesn't matter because they sense the blood in the water, so the piranhas are going to come, and they're going to feast because they're bottom feeders, okay? Even though piranhas aren't bottom feeders, just generally speaking. But these people are bottom feeders, and they don't care. In the case of calling out Candace Owens, it's like there's a lot of people out there on the left that are trying to gain relevance, build careers, and she is a lolcow, easy to call out. And people will pay attention because she keeps doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. Candace Owens is almost like the DSP of the right-wing political commentary. It's like she just keeps doubling down on nonsense. No one really believes her, but I think people pay her the money in order to watch her continuously go crazy. It's the only thing that makes any sense. It's really the only thing that makes any sense. Yeah, Joan Rivers, that was, I mean, I don't know that specific controversy. There might have been a comment Joan Rivers made about Michelle Obama or something at some point. It might have, maybe it was like Melissa Rivers was involved, her daughter. But dude, Joan Rivers died like at a very old age. All right. What is this? Mo here says, pay me $1,000 and I'll criticize Matt and H-Barts. You don't have to make $1,000 to do that. You could just do that on your own. It's perfectly fine. People do it all the time. You know what I mean? It's okay. All right, let's keep going.
Is holding up negotiations to end the Russian and Ukrainian war unless you stop speaking about his wife. Obviously, I don't want to have on my conscience that less Christian men could have died in the East if I just shut up about something. I kind of go back in my mind to that conversation, and I find myself wondering whether or not Trump was being directed by somebody to give me a call, and whether he was being honest with me, if it was really coming from him, if it was coming from higher up. You know, my general perspective is that we live in a nation that is governed by the military. So I don't necessarily believe that Trump is in control of things. I can't see them wanting to make it to Discovery. I just don't see that happening. I think they'll fake kill Brigitte first, but they'll be like, oh, Brigitte passed away from stress because of what Candace did. Oh, nobody can talk about her being a man anymore because Brigitte's gone. This is terrible. The French press is reporting that Annie Trogno died on July 3rd and then was buried on the 15th in Amiens, and that Anne-Marie's daughter, Christine, died on July 19th and then was buried on the 25th. So that was 2 days after my lawsuit. Anyways, take from that what you will. We're still investigating. Things are happening. Strange events are happening. It could be nothing. Who knows? It, of course, is interesting because, you know, had those two individuals have been alive, we may have liked to subpoena them to get a statement. I am telling.
Like, she says it with conviction, and you have to almost give credit to that. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, Frodo Cop here. Joan Rivers claimed Michelle Obama was trans and Barack is gay. Later, Rivers died having more plastic surgery. Well, there you go. Faking gay, right? Didn't you hear that DSP is getting new fans? He's on his way to the top again. I guess good for him. Maybe that's what I have to do, is I have to go and start becoming a hater, right? I mean, like, he lives in Renton. I live in Olympia. It's not that far away. You know, I could stake out, do live DSP coverage from outside of his condo, sit there with the camera, live streaming it from the street and be like, we're here to hour number 37 on DSP. coverage. We can see movement inside the house. Clearly, his live stream is showing him attempt to play a fighting game and being terrible at it. We're waiting for the windows to shatter and the wife to run out screaming. Folks will be here all night covering this breaking news story. I mean, like that kind. Actually, I'd probably make a fair amount of money doing that kind of shit. I would probably make a fair amount of money doing that kind of shit. Because the haters would pay for that kind of shit, I think, right? Someone to sit out there and live stream outside of his place, right? Like, not like, not directly filming it, but it's just like, whatever. DSP is Dark Side Phil, man. He's a guy. You got to look him up. Mo here says she must be good in the sack to be this crazy. That's the thing. It's kind of like, it's like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, and say Candace Owens is good in bed. I have no idea. Okay, but the thing with crazy bitches, okay, the reason why dudes are attracted to crazy bitches is because they're crazy. All right, like it's something about it. It's like unpredictable. It's alluring to some people. All right, and like she's leaned so heavily into the grift. She's leaned so heavily into all of this that it's gotten to the point now where she basically says Israel had. Alleging Israel killed Charlie Kirk, and Benjamin Netanyahu has to go out there and make a video saying like, no, we did not kill Charlie Kirk. And that's how you know you've got some sauce, right? And that's the scary thing. That's how you know that she's got some sauce, because if she's out there saying that like Israel killed Charlie Kirk, and then the prime minister of Israel comes out and refutes it. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. Hold on. DSP has been doing more interviews. He could probably book him now. Just don't softball him and ask about his last remaining Nazi Dead Space 2 playthrough. I don't even know. While we're on the subject, why do I think Review Tech USA always streams about DSP? Lack of interesting things to talk about. Like the thing, like I can't watch Rich anymore. I love Rich. I've always been a pal. Every time it's always just DSP, or it's just, I don't know. I'm sure he covers other stuff, but I just can't. My interests have changed so dramatically that it's, I've like tuned in while I'm at work and just looking for something to listen to, and I'm bored to tears within 30 seconds. Right. And it's just because like, it's not engaging to my brain, because it's like, I'm like, I'm 43, he's 43. It's almost like Boogie, right? It's almost like Boogie. Rich betrayed you. How can you still back him up? I mean, Rich betrayed a lot of people, but I still made a lot of money off that deal. He paid me for that, for our time. He's paid me a few times over some stuff. And the thing is, look, man, I get it in regards to YouTube. Okay. I get it in regards to YouTube. All of that shit makes sense. All right. Like YouTube is so dramatically changed. All right. Like it's so changed that the only way you're getting a lot of attention is if you're out there just looking at shit nonstop, right? You're just kind of causing it, or you're getting in and all like the crazy creator drama. Okay. Like I'm laughing at Candace Owens, but this is the first time I've laughed at Candace Owens. Like I am more than happy to watch AI slop. Like I am more than happy to watch AI slop. To me, at least, that's entertaining. To me, at least, it's something interesting. There was intent behind making it to an extent, even if it was like a slot machine generation like Sora. There's still an intent there. This stuff with like Rich and DSP, or just watching the lolcows, it's like it's terrible shit. Boogie literally was selling everything at his home. Probably a dumb lolcow live work. He had to had his game award out there. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like there's just no fucking way that you're going to get that here. I will come back to this, but I want to show you guys something, right? Like I was sent, a couple days ago, and, it's, it's crazy. Boogie, but this is what's going on with all of these guys is that they do not like, they don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. They legitimately are at a space now where the market has changed everything has changed so rapidly, so insanely that that people are just like looking for anything that they can to try and make money. You know what I mean? Because it's like you either have to play and it's the game. It is really all about the fucking game. If you play the game correctly, and if you play the game correctly, you can eke out a living. You can eke out something. You know what I mean? And it sucks because like if it'd be nice if we could find ways to make like more money doing this in ways that are more legitimate. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the issue, is that a lot of this shit isn't necessarily like legitimate anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, being a creator is something that is a career, right? People do it all the time. They make a lot of money doing it. They have influence doing it, so on and so forth. Okay. But then you're trying to sit there and like figure out how to keep going, how to keep building, how to keep, getting bigger, and how to keep all that shit. And it just ends up like, I don't know, man. It just ends up fucking like it becomes a lot. And if you're not fucking making the money, you know what I mean? Then you're not, you just, I don't know. I'm talking out my ass on this one, but it really does become a pain in the ass to do these days. And again, a lot of the problems is, as fun as live streaming is, and it's fun, there are a lot of people that think about it and they go, oh man, I gotta fucking, I gotta do more live streams because live streams are how I'm gonna make my money. And it's like, I used to do live streams pretty much every night, right? And then between super chats and between ad revenue and memberships, I was able to pull in close to about $2,000 a month doing it. And then the strikes happened. And that summer, everything took a shit. Viewership started to drop. Earnings, super chats, I don't want to say dried up, but they went down exponentially. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that there was a lot of fighting about the strikes. There's a lot of fighting about AI. There's a lot of all this shit at the time. And it just created this era of aura of negativity around everything. And people weren't having as much fun. And to be fair, it's still fun, but we haven't had as much fun all the time, right? The more fun, think about it like this. The nights we have the most amount of fun, right, are the nights where we're pretty much just doing like trailer parks and like just watching, fucking shitty movie trailers or things along those lines. And those are a lot of fun and I love them. Right. And I fucking love them. But at the same time, it's like those videos, they do nothing after the fact, right? They do nothing after the fact because they'll all get copyrighted or they'll get like blocked in certain countries. So like they're fun to do for the audience, but you can't sit there and have people watch really after the fact because they're not going to be able to. And so what you might get on super chats or memberships in the beginning of that, it won't relate to anything or it won't transition or build to anything else after. So it becomes this constant like ebb and flow of like you're fighting the algorithm, you're fighting changing tastes, you're fighting fatigue, you're fighting other people, you're fighting everything, and it just becomes this fucking mess of a scenario. And that's why people like Rich are covering DSP because Rich was doing gaming news, right? And he still does a little bit of gaming news. And so, but really it's just kind of like he'll make more money taking off his shirt, slapping around his titties and fucking watching DSP because he's engaging in drama that is going to feed into the lizard brain of people who are already predisposed to dislike fucking DSP, and that's why you have people like, you look at like, Ark Debunks. I like Ark. I have nothing against him, right? He's out there criticizing, a lot of the grifters, and he's doing a good job doing that. But at the same time, it's like at some point you can only sit there and say the same thing so many times. It's the same on the other side, right? They'll say they have their 3-4 main talking points and they run that into the goddamn ground. And then they just move on to the next topic and do it again. It's not fun. It's not fun to watch. It's not fun to make fun of. It's not fun, which is one of the reasons why I'm drawn to AI. AI is fun. It's fun to me. You can find some crazy shit with that. It's crazy. Yeah, I agree with Parallax here. Hollywood strikes ruined everything. I mean, they really did. And they haven't even gotten better. It's just kind of sad. Rich does some gaming, but dude, every time I tune in, it's always DSP. Always DSP. Dude, come on. Let us be fair. Does it become tedious? You mean like YouTube? Yeah, it does. I can't find the clip I wanted to show of that, unfortunately. I was really bummed. I thought I could find the clip that I was looking for. I don't know. I don't know where it's at, but Boogie had a voice changer and like slammed a pie in his face, and he was like, "Am I pretty enough for you?" sort of thing. And you can totally tell that he is just, out there doing this for Keemstar. And that is what he's doing, so it is unfortunate. Hollywood ruins everything. No, it doesn't. There's still a lot of great things. Like there's a lot of great shit to watch, great shit to talk about. Stranger Things is tomorrow night. Can't fucking wait. I mean, like there are a bunch of good movies that are coming out on digital, coming out on streaming. There's things to watch. I've legitimately contemplated spending more time watching television and then doing my I don't want to say a recap, but like more of my thoughts on like individual episodes. Like go through all of Alien Earth because I haven't seen it. So all those 8 episodes, go back to the beginning of Stranger Things, watch through all of that, give my thoughts on those episodes. I mean, on new shows or whatever, because it's easier content to put out. It's easier for me to come home, watch a half-hour episode of South Park, talk about it for 20 minutes, and like do what I do here, which is just, fucking just talking to my microphone, and go from there. And the same thing with movies, but that's like, again, like more of an investment. Like I really do want to do a review of Frankenstein because I have so many issues with the movie. But I liked it, but it was also like very it was very much like like I don't know, man. Elizabeth's character was like a manic pixie dream girl, more or less. It completely wasted characterization. I mean, like, my God, anyone out there that's defending Elizabeth's character is like, do you understand story? Definitely watch Shimonetta, yeah. Welcome to Derry is good, yeah. Watch some Cat Planet Cuties. I mean, yeah, like that might be something as well. If you guys want me to do more television, it's easier for me to do. It just really fucking is. All right, let's get back into the Candace Owens shit here.
You to back off right now. Like right now. Don't do it. Okay? Don't you think about it. I know.
Hold on.
Like to subpoena them, to get a statement.
I want to hear that whole
statement. I am
statement.
telling you to back off right now. Like right now. Don't do it. Okay? Don't you think about it. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you were that were exerting pressure. Don't you pretend to be noble now and say nice things about Charlie Kirk and think you're going to slide into his chair. Okay? Over my dead body, which I'm sure can be arranged. They would rather protect Brigitte, even though the whole world no longer believes that Brigitte Macron was born a female, right? But they would rather risk the entire thing coming undone than to just say, okay, maybe we took it too far. Let's get Macron out of office and put somebody else in there that we can control. They are taking this way too far, okay? Killing people more is actually only going to catalyze the understanding that we're all having that there is something very dangerous and something deep and dark that is going on.
What the fuck is she talking about?
Anyways, like I said, if I get killed, it's definitely Zionist.
It's like, what is this? What are you guys? None of this is real. How are you just coming up with these weird storylines?
See, I mean, like, it almost feels to me, if I had to speculate, if I had to guess, right? I would say, oddly enough, I would say that Candace Owens takes whatever batshit crazy theory or thought is in her mind, and she ends up running it through an AI to come up with the craziest shit possible. Because I want you to look for a second where her eyes are, not on the image on the left here, but her eyes on the right. Okay, the middle and the right image. She's clearly looking at a teleprompter. Okay, she's looking at a teleprompter, and she's reading off her notes on the teleprompter. And I mean, a lot of people do this. You know, I mean, I would probably do the same fucking thing too, right? So I get all that, but I just find it to be very interesting that, you know, she just has all of this shit and she says it with conviction, which is why people do it. Am I doing the $5 Hulu Disney deal? I don't even know about that. I should look at that because I do want to watch Alien and there's going to be, you know, like, look, I know how to, like, you know, I know how to surf the web. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, I know how to get what I need. But I do like to be able to actually, you know, support it where I can. Definitely need to do it for Fallout Season 2. Yeah. I mean, I do need to rewatch Fallout Season 1. Very excited for that one. So I mean, look, there's for the 20 of you here on YouTube. Although I mean, we got people watching on fucking Twitter apparently. Let me see here. Let me take a look here. I can look to see how many people are watching on Twitter right now. Well, it looks like we've got what 43 people having clicked on it, but I can't see how many people are actually watching. That's unfortunate there. That'd be nice. That'd be fucking nice to be able to see all that shit. Anyway, yeah, a lot of good TV to watch. There's a $3 HBO deal. I don't want to give Warner Brothers any money. That's just more of a personal issue, right? That's just more of a personal thing. The way I look at it is like, for some reason, whatever's happening with Warner Brothers right now, I am not happy with whatever they're doing. I am looking at that going like, you know, they're selling and they're going to fuck over a lot of people. And that's, you know, and that they just want the money. I'm here watching your show while playing Pokemon Legends. Yeah, is that worth it? Because I saw it on sale at Costco. Well, it was like $65. You know, is that good? Because, like, you know, I'm gonna buy my kids. I'm gonna buy my kids the what's it called? Minecraft for Christmas. I'm gonna get it for them on the Switch. And you know, they're 6 and 7, or almost 6 and 8. Goddamn, my eldest turns 8 next week. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Pokemon ZA is it something they could play? You know, like they're learning, like they can read, not the greatest, but they can read, you know. Hold on here. What do we got? We got Wellen Riley 9438 saying it's going to be so funny when you wake up and realize you're the crazy one. Well, Waylon, I would take a wager that I'm not going to have that waking up moment. I have a feeling that Miss Candace, Waylon, if you're still here, can I tell you a story, buddy? I want to tell you a Candace Owens story. I think you might find it to be fascinating. I'm not too sure how much you know about Miss Owens, but I first encountered Miss Owens back in 2016. In 2016, Candace Owens came onto the radar of the Gamergate movement because she was attempting at the time to launch a website called Social Autopsy. Now, Social Autopsy is an idea that never came fully to fruition because it's essentially a doxing site for children. Okay. So the idea behind Social Autopsy, the impetus of what she had come up with, was that Candace Owens, when she was a teenager, and this is true, by the way, When she was a teenager in high school, apparently the son of like the town mayor called her at her house one night in a prank call and called her a very dirty word, which is not good. She then sued the school and got, I want to say, like $15,000. But it kind of put the idea in her head that if you are the victim, you can make a lot of money. All right. Like, why'd she sue the school for something that happened off school property outside of school hours? Right? It seemed kind of weird. I don't know the full specifics of all of that, but that is true that she did sue the school. She did win. But anyway, she comes back out because she was a lefty, right? Candace Owens, super lefty. She came out with this website. She tried going to people on the other side of Gamergate. Zoe Quinn, a few of the other folks that were in the tech industry side of things. And she tried to promote this website. She tried to promote Social Autopsy. And they all turned her down. They all said no. Now, she then decided that it would be her best course of action to approach the idea of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So Candace Owens started courting members of Gamergate, trying to get them to promote the idea of Social Autopsy. Now, here's how this website works. I'm just going to tell you this because I want you to understand how the website works before we go into my response to it, because I think you guys are going to be able to figure out my response. So let's say you got a kid, teenager, on the internet saying dumb, stupid shit on the internet, as teenagers are one to do. And someone out there doesn't like that. And someone out there finds an anonymous account, but knows who it is, screenshots that account and the things that they said, then goes over to socialautopsy.com and submits those screenshots, as well as the name of the individual involved. Where they're from, where they go to school, maybe where they work. Basically wanting to create an entire army of online tattletelling Karens aimed at holding teenagers accountable for the dumb shit they say online. Now, I'm not against holding people accountable for the things that they say. I've said dumb shit. I've been held accountable quite a bit. But when you are promoting a website that is really all about trying to get the information on children in order to then use it as a public shaming tool, all right? Don't you think that's a little fucked up? Don't you think that's a little weird? Don't you think it's kind of odd that when you went to the far left and the far left turned you down, that you went to their online social enemies and you tried to get them to back you up? The people that were supported by Breitbart, supported by Steve Bannon, supported by the online growing culture war of the right wing. And a lot of people jumped on it because it was all about owning the libs, owning Zoe Quinn, owning everybody else on that side who was turning against Candace Owens. But myself and other actual liberals looked at this website, looked at what it presented, looked at what it represented and the damage it could cause, and push back against it. And thankfully, it never came to fruition. But that is the kind of grifter that Candace Owens is. She was mad at teenagers saying mean things to her when she was a teenager, that she thought it would be a good idea to try to create a website that doxed teenagers and then would basically brand them with scarlet letters for the rest of their fucking life. That's who she is. And then when that failed, well, she disappeared for a bit. And then she came back under the name Red Pill Black. All of a sudden, she's a Trumper, she's right-wing, she left the left, she hates the left is terrible, they're all communists, they're all fucking crazy. And she used that to parlay a career into PragerU, and then over to Daily Wire, and then after she got fired for anti-Semitism, now she's striking out on her own, and she's literally being sued for defamation by the First Family of France. So all I'm saying here is when you look at who she is as a person, the things that she has verifiably said, verifiably done, And the amount of times that she has attempted to cozy up to online groups that she thinks she can grift, she chose conservatives because, I hate to say it to you out there, but you guys probably deep down know it's true. You're a lot of gullible redneck retards. And she came on in and she told you what you wanted to hear because she's an attractive black female, not the typical kind of conservative. She's smart. She's articulate. She knows how to navigate the media field. She knows how to get her hooks into people, and she knows how to play the game until she is milked the well dry, and then she moves on. She tried cozying up to Trump. She tried cozying up to Kanye. She has done all of these things. She praised Hitler, for crying the fuck out loud, because she knows that her rabid, neo-Nazi, white male fan base will fucking jerk off in their goddamn fucking socks over it. She has played you all like fiddles. And now she's gone so far that she's gotten the attention of the first family of France. She has gotten so much attention and so much influence following Charlie Kirk's death that the PM of fucking of Israel, Netanyahu, had to come out and be like, nah, dog, Israel had nothing to do with that shit. And now she's out there claiming that all these people are trying to kill her. This is the evolution of the grift. This is the evolution. Right? Like, this is what happens. Because when you push those boundaries as far as you push those boundaries, when you say the things that you do constantly are like that, you end up being in these positions where you have no choice but to double down on the crazy. You have no choice but to keep going down that path line, because if you go backwards, it's weakness. And the audience you've amassed does not like weakness. They listen to you because you present yourself as an authoritative expert on these subjects. And that's one of the reasons why when I talk to people about the fandom menace, and they go out there and they criticize every movie and every TV show and everything, and I'm like, hey, why are you listening to people who've never actually done anything? Would you trust a person who has never picked up a wrench to fix your plumbing? No, you wouldn't. So why are you listening to the opinions of people who have never actually created anything in their life outside of the bullshit that spews forth from their mouth? But it doesn't matter, because what happens here is what you've got the echo chamber that is completely reinforced by its own shit. Because they know that all they have to do is spark enough outrage, enough of a response to get the cycle flowing, and it's rinse repeat constantly. And they say the same thing. Candace is now in her phase of, I guys got to go balls to the wall. Crazy. She's Tucker Carlsoning all of this shit. And I would not be surprised if at some point in time she brings up the idea of, like, you know, relocating to fucking Russia for protection. Oh, no, I am pretty sure he's a troll. But for people who don't know the history of Candace Owens, I wanted to give a little bit of a summary. A lot of her newer shit I'm not super aware of, but the older shit I'm aware of. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. That's all it is. You know, is just, this is who she is as a person. This has been around now for almost, you know, I've known her about her now for 9 years, and it's always been bad. So there you go. Oh, hey, what's up, H. Schwartz? Anyway. That is Candace in a nutshell. And she's fucking crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy. Here we've got another clip. This is from the same Milk Bar guy. This is from 2 months ago, but to just give us an idea of
what
everything.
I do know is we're not getting the full story, because
this is about Charlie Kirk.
Just spiritually know that more people are involved. Okay. So I would discern that we are looking, just vibe again, 2 different people would be my thing. 2 different people. I think the person in the maroon that's walking is different from the person that's walking up the stairs. It's a gut thing, okay? I don't know, but I know. Okay, I don't know, no, but I know. We don't know, no, but we know something made its way around the entire town and into my tips line repeatedly. It is a very clear image of Tyler Robinson, allegedly taken, I'll say allegedly for safety here. We can now plot this change, this alleged Dairy Queen stop onto our timeline. We were very accurate when we started getting really serious.
Hold on, I want to go back to this real quick. Look at this here. What do we learn from this? Tyler Robinson, minutes after killing Charlie Kirk, goes to Dairy Queen, gets what appears to be chicken tendies and some kind of ice cream. But what's behind him? What's on the standee behind him? Doesn't that strike you guys as interesting? That the standee behind him is for Superman the movie. Tyler is dressed wearing a red shirt and blue pants. Superman colors. Do you not think he was inspired by the Man of Steel? Do you not think that he went and saw Superman and thought to himself, I will take out Charlie Kirk because that is what Superman would do to Lex Luthor if there was no other option? Think about that. Did James Gunn have an influence on Charlie Kirk's death? We have to ask the questions because we do not know the answers. We have to dig deeper, folks. You can call in 323-400-42, whatever the fuck number is there that I have on the screen. Obviously, come on. Obviously not. I got to change this number, by the way, because it's I didn't use it for so long. Google killed it. So that number is no longer accurate. I can get another one, though. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up there. Sending around 5 AI SOAR videos. God damn. All right, fine. God damn it. Anyway, let's go back to this.
Dairy Queen stop onto our timeline. We were very accurate when we started getting really serious about looking at a timeline. I like a clean timeline. Well, there we go. 6:38 p.m. We get this confirmed photo, or I shouldn't say a confirmed photo, an alleged photo. He writes, since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty die-hard MAGA. There's something here for everyone if you want to take the low-hanging fruit and think of this as left versus right, right? So if you're like, on the right, you're like, I need to blame the left, then it's like, whoa, the trans thing is here. But if you're on the left, you need to blame the right. Well, dad was a die-hard MAGA. It's so fed. It's just so federally written. It's amazing. So chaos right here. Says to Lance, allegedly, quote, I worry about Prince. I had to leave it, referring to the rifle, in a bush where I changed outfits. Wait, changed outfits? Somebody commented, men don't say outfits. That's a woman thing. Okay, yeah, that's true. I would say I changed my outfit. A man does not say, you just say you changed clothes. You would not say an outfit. Outfit is very girly. Okay, so is this AI or is this a female fed that put these messages together? We're not feeling like it's Tyler Robinson, that's for sure. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. Squad car. Okay, yeah, no. How many times do you call a police car a squad car? Do you want to know who calls it a squad car? Someone on the squad. Well, that's how that works. So I would like more information about Lance Twiggs. Okay, I already don't like that mom received a Bachelor of Science from Stanford University in psychology. It seems to be a running theme in these Fed ops that there's always psychology somewhere in the family. Entire world is watching, and that's what's problematic. Left and right, we are realizing something more sinister happened. We're not taking the MAGA bait. The dad MAGA, he's been more MAGA than ever. One of the commenters pointed out, why would the dad suddenly be more MAGA than ever? Like, what happened recently? Like, we're in September. Like, what happened that someone would commit themselves further to Trump, more MAGA than ever? In fact, it's been kind of the opposite. People think we're occupied by Zionists. More MAGA people are going like, it seems like Trump has kind of given up on free speech, and his administration seems to be controlled by Bibi Netanyahu, so that doesn't ring true either. And then it's like, oh, over here, the trans. Neither. Left and right, we're paying attention, and we're looking up at who rules over us, and it's not a pretty picture. Just show us the footage, okay? I'm demanding it. You know why? Because I need to be able to fit things into my timeline. If that's okay with you. Why you are attacking the people who are, the person rather, who is trying to investigate it. You're not a good friend, they say, if you investigate this.
now they're running the "How dare you get clicks for investigating?" What? This is my show. How dare you get clips for even talking about me talking about it? You morons.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Let's see. Why can't Candace be looking for my photos? Do you got photos, Earl Pipe? You want to show her your pipe? Is that what's going on? That's funny. Thank you, Mo, for the 99-cent super sticker. I appreciate you. Again, this stuff, it goes deeper, it goes crazier. Okay, oh fuck you, H-Barts. Jesus Christ. Hold on here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a break from this. We're gonna dive over, take a look at some of these Sora videos. That's some Tony Khan. I don't know who Tony Khan is. Is that a wrestling thing? Thank you for the super chat though, but I have no idea who that is. Okay. Let's see. Did you upload like my picture into this shit? Okay, so here we go. This is me, I guess, if I ran for mayor of New York City. A mayor for everyone, I guess. Right, there we go.
Tonight, we chose a future where artificial intelligence belongs to all of us. Every classroom, every small town, every dreamer will have access. Together, tonight,
like, did you just create a fucking cameo? Like, did you upload my thing on there? Jesus. Anyway, okay, that's not terrible. Too thin. You know what? Hey, man, listen. You know what, Mo? I am now down. By the way, I am now down to 205 pounds. At my height, I was 240, and I've been losing weight. So you know what? You can pound sand, bitch. No, I just said Matt Jarbo, but since you use Sora, it uses you. Crazy. I don't even upload myself on there, but how did it get my voice? How did it get my voice? I haven't created a cameo. That's wild, though, dude. Even an AI looks sharp. Thank you. I mean, I wish I could get my beard to look a little bit better, to be honest with you. It kind of looks like me a little bit, but I don't really know. All right, I'll go to the next one. I just don't want to show off my DMs from people. Oh, God, what the fuck is this one? Why do I have Enosh hair in this one? What the fuck? Why do I have Enosh hair? I mean, I definitely have that fucking big ass forehead. I have enough internet presence. Yeah. You've been using AI for years. Your data. Yeah, I know it is. I know it is. All right. What the fuck is this? What is that hair? The glasses I like, but what is the hair? Oops. Hold on. All right.
All right, so apparently Matt Jarbo says he's running for Boulder King.
Boulder King? Like an actual throne made out of rocks?
That's what he claims. He's got a whole campaign poster. Look at that smile. He's ready to roll the pebbles.
He gets elected, does he get like a second?
All right, so apparently Matt Jarbo says he's running for Boulder King.
Boulder King? Like an actual throne made out of rocks?
That's what he claims. He's got a whole campaign poster. Look at that smile. He's ready to roll the pebbles.
Hey, man, actually, those glasses do look pretty good on me. I'm not going to lie. That fucking hair. Howard Stern Jarbo. Yeah, all right. That will be the avatar of Skynet, I guess. I do like the glasses, though. I do like the leather jacket, maybe a bit much. Okay, but that weird fucking permy hair. You look like Morbius from the... No, I don't. Jesus Christ. Good night, Mo. Have a good one, buddy. Thank you. All right, let's see here. We got the one underneath that failed to load. So the third one you sent failed to load. Just as an FYI on that one, H-Barts, okay? So you may want to resend that one. Okay. By the way, guys, if you want to make AI videos of me, we will watch them and laugh. Okay. Doesn't look much like me. It is using my old frames. Oh, by the way, I got new frames coming, so I can be on camera occasionally. I bought the same frames I had before. I got the Metas. Anyway.
I'm Matt Jarbo, and I'm running for president. Because integrity and courage mean standing up to the people who hold us back. Donovan Martin and Brandon Heaton, they've had their chance to poison the well. Enough is enough. As president, I will banish them. I'm Matt Jarbo, and I'm running for president. Because integrity and courage mean standing up to the people who hold us back.
Why is
Donovan Martin?
Why is Brandon black? Look at that. The problem.
Standing up to the people who hold us back. Donovan Martin and Brandon Heaton, they've had their chance to poison the well. Enough is enough. As president, I will banish them. I'm Matt Jarbo.
Have I tried an Norelco one for shaving and trimming all that yet? Do I have one? I bought a new shaver recently. It's pretty good. I just have like a really round face. It's very odd. It's very weird. And the hair grows in weird ways. I don't know. It's an older thing, I guess. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. This doesn't even look like me. This fucking condom one doesn't even look like me.
It's a Boulder condom. Ultra thin, locally made. Because this town is too gorgeous to be reckless. Ha, so take one. Or two. Get Boulder. Stay safer. And keep Boulder safe. Boulder condoms. Rolled right here. It's a Boulder condom. Ultra thin, locally made. Because this town...
That's actually not a bad commercial. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, man. Boulder condoms, ultra thin, locally made. You look like the senator from Metal Gear Rising. Do I? I never played Metal Gear Rising. I never did none of that shit. Okay, we go back over here, reset the next one. Oh, you son of a fuck. What the fuck? Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ, H-Barts. What did you do? What did you do? Fuck.
All right, Paulie, you ready for the word of the day?
Absolutely. Lay it on me, Matt.
Today's word is...
Snickers.
Snickers. Nothing warmer than a little laugh you can't hold in.
Exactly. It's that quiet giggle, the one that sneaks out.
Try using it today. All right, Paulie, you ready for the word of the day?
Absolutely. Lay it on me, Matt.
Today's word is...
Snickers.
Snickers. Nothing warmer than a little laugh you can't hold in.
Exactly. It's that...
It sounds so much like me. I mean, it doesn't sound perfect, but it sounds like eerily enough to where that's you, sick, demented fuck. You guys are assholes. Well, not you guys. H-Barts is an asshole for doing that. Anyway. Oh, wow. Jesus Christ. That is, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what can I say to that one there? Polly is always there. Yeah, that last one looked like Dearborn, Michigan, Jarbo. Aloha Snack Bar. I've never even been to Michigan. But it's funny you say that because H-Barts is from Michigan. So that kind of makes some sense, I guess. Oh my God. I got an email real quick from Umbrella, and they're doing this apparently flash like Friday sale, Black Friday sale, and I'm looking at like, because they're the ones that put out that Mario, that Super Mario Brothers box set, that fucking nice one, and it's like $100, but it's in Australia, and I have to spend $140 to get free shipping to America. I'm not gonna do it. It's on my bucket list of items to get, but I'll get that next year probably. At your grave, Polly will be there. Yeah, most likely. Most fucking likely. Jesus Christ. That's fucking funny, though. Umbrella from Resident Evil. No, Umbrella is an Australian physical media company. So they definitely do a lot of good shit. But you gotta buy them. So, you know. Anyway. Oh my God. Let's see here. You have the type of voice that sounds eerily similar to other dudes' voices. No, that's not true. I do not have a voice that is eerily similar to other dudes' voices. That is not true. It is definitely not true. You know, I'll tell you what I do have though. Big balls. There we go. I'm just going to say that. That's how I know I don't have voices that sound like other people. But it's still weird that I was able to figure it out pretty quick. That is wild. But I do have, you do sound like, shut the fuck up. No, I do not. You shut the fuck up. No, I do not sound like Philip Burnell. Gee, guys, I fucking, wow. I know I don't sound like Philip Burnell. Now, listen, I might have like the physical phenotype of like a cloning facility for, overweight white male nerds with beards and glasses. Yeah, like that's a thing. But my voice is definitely not that. You two, shut the fuck up. Who the hell is what? Philip Burnell? That's DSP. That's DSP. DS Pizzle. Okay. Here is another Candace Owens one. This one, she apparently is trying to go full pivot into trying to attract a left-wing audience, which is kind of what I was talking about before. She likes to pivot.
Yes, I am calling on the left and the right to unify and to solve what happened on September 10th. Okay?
Obviously, Charlie Kirk.
All of us, left and right. The entire world needs to wake up right now. And I believe that Charlie Kirk's murder has provided us an opportunity to do so, to stop the left and right BS. And I do want to shout out my lefties here, because I felt like I was one of the only people on the right who was anti-vax before it was cool. Like none of my kids were vaccinated, and people thought it was wacky. But before I got
They're all vaccinated.
The lefty moms.
I would bet you money all of her children are vaccinated, and they will have to be before they go to school. I think that's a requirement. I know it is in California. I think she's in Tennessee. So I don't know how Tennessee law is on children being vaccinated before going to school, but I guarantee you her children are vaccinated. Right? It's like every person who's in a state of influence, in a position of influence, every single one is vaccinated. They're vaccinated against COVID. They're vaccinated against polio. They're vaccinated against fucking like mumps and shit, the hantavirus, malaria, whatever the fuck they give out in that cocktail of vaccines you get when you're a kid at the doctor. Okay, like they give all that shit out. Like I guarantee you, they're all vaccinated. She's just gonna be like, no, I was on it beforehand. And my kids aren't vaccinated. Bullshit. Absolutely, I guarantee you they're all vaccinated.
Left stream moms were actually the ones that were like very on it with like, what did these products? And that was like a weird place. I didn't kind of fit in conservative land. I am telling you, this is not a battle between left and right. Left and right, we are realizing.
Hold on, if she's talking about like lefty moms and the whole anti-vax thing, that generally comes in from the wellness movement, and the wellness movement is one of the big things that fucking fueled QAnon, especially on social media, especially on Facebook. And those women are not lefties. Those women are like largely like, you could say like not lefties, but they're spiritual. So like maybe they're more predisposed to like liberal type ideologies, but they have become more on the conservative side. Okay, like when you start dabbling in QAnon conspiracy theories about pedophile rings, at the highest forms of government that involve the Democrats, and you in no way involve, Trump, it's all conservative shit. So she's completely full of it there.
Something more sinister happened. Now, usually we go, was he on the left? Was he on the right? Because that's the bait. The bait is to make me as a conservative hate you if you were on the left. And if you were on the left, the goal is to make you hate Candace, because it allows them to operate in broad daylight. This sport has been created, left versus right, that it's just the left. It's all left leaning. No. They work with both the left and the right. Yeah, and sadly, the people that I am in partnership with on demanding more answers are not even people who were friends with Charlie Kirk. They're just like, obviously this is wrong and this is weird and I'm on the left. She's allied with the left. Yep.
I have seen more people in what you would call liberal spaces looking at the official timeline of the Charlie Kirk thing and going, and actually, hold on, I want to take that back. I've seen a lot of conservatives do it too, so I can't necessarily like put it together, but I do have conservative friends who love Charlie Kirk, and they never jumped on the on that kind of bandwagon, right? Of ever kind of questioning the official story. But there are conservatives that did. You have the gun people, the gun nuts on YouTube. They hardcore don't believe the story. And that's because they're like, I know what a 30-06 round will do to a human body from 600 yards away. Like, I know what that will do. And I can prove it using, like whatever kind of, fake skeleton gel skull, whatever the fuck they were doing. And they proved it on video, and it's like it would demolish the fucking head, or it would just demolish the body. There'd be an exit wound. There'd be a lot of blood. And so they question all this kind of shit. A lot of the right wing, from my understanding, even now, 2 months later, 2.5 months later, largely hasn't, like, they've kind of moved on. And I did predict that a lot of people are going to move on, right? I did predict that people are going to move on past Charlie Kirk, that it was going to be like it's an assassin. It's like, here's the crazy thing. It's an actual assassination. Okay. An actual assassination. And yet we're so desensitized to gun violence in this country that we've moved the fuck on from it. More people now are curious if Erica Vance was, like, in any way involved with his death because of the way she's been acting. Like, she is like the worst actor that I've ever fucking seen. And she is now taken on all of this fucking, Turning Point. She's not going to be able to make Turning Point work for her because they don't like women. So that's going to be something interesting to see play out. But she's going to get a lot of donor money up front to make sure that she and her family are protected for life, are set for life. Absolutely. She made that comment about I saw this online. I mentioned it yesterday, that there was the 8, she says she's 8 weeks pregnant, but he died 10 weeks ago, sort of thing. So I don't know, unless there was like a repository of sperm up there that just kind of happened to, do a timed release, then no. But again, the whole thing is kind of crazy. Hegelian dialectic. She can't put it into words. She's the female Alex Jones. She's definitely up there, but I don't know if I'd go that far. So they're sacrificing children on the layaway plan, like what, Walmart? Worse acting than porn. Porn's at least somewhat believable. If you've ever heard some of these porn stars fake their orgasms, they sound, they make them sound a little bit more like elevated, a little bit more larger than life, because that's the way that our brains would interpret it as sounding realistic, right? Because, like, if the porn star, if she's going like, I'm coming, she's yelling it out, right? That's the fantasy men want to hear, because that means that they've got the power in that moment, that their dick is hitting that fucking G-spot so good that it's making her uncontrollably yelp. That's what gets them going. But in reality, it's like, she'll just be like, I'm coming, fuck me harder, sort of thing. You know what I mean? So it's, sorry, a lot of you might be virgins. I have no idea if you are. Couple of you absolutely. And so, yeah, porn is not real, just so you're saying. But anyway, what am I talking about here? Yes, worse acting than porn. Look up the meaning of Hegelian dialectic. Okay, fine. Okay. Dialectic here. Okay, so it is a philosophical method where ideas in history develop through a process of conflict and resolution involving a 3-step progression, a thesis, an initial idea or proposition, an antithesis, a contradictory concept that opposes the thesis, and a synthesis, which resolves the conflict by integrating elements of both to form a new, more complex idea that becomes the new thesis. The ongoing cycle, where each synthesis becomes the next thesis, is how Hegel believed progress occurs in the fields like art, philosophy, and history. Interesting. Basically, create the problem, create the antithesis to the problem, merge together for solution, then create new problem. Basically, yeah, makes a lot of sense. Did I see the Scrubs revival trailer? No, I don't really care. I never really. I mean, I remember I watched the whole first season of Scrubs in like one day, but then I lost interest in it after like a couple seasons. The anti-vax new age moms are sacrificing their children. I don't believe that's the case, not necessarily. But when you had that outbreak, what outbreak? It was like we hadn't seen an outbreak like that in like a long time. What was it? Was it measles? Was it a measles outbreak that happened? You versus me, and the solution is we both lose. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, let's keep going.
I am allied with the left and the right. Jamie Lee Curtis, she's on the left, right? And she was crying over this. Totally different politics, the awakening that's happening right now, left and right coming together. Murphy writes, I'm a progressive. The question I have is from an LGBTQ person. I owe you an apology, Candace. As a former Dem, I am ashamed to admit that I've said some awful things about you. You know what, Rachel? I'll apologize back because I was also partially blinded and I thought that it was just the left. You know, I was taking that low-hanging fruit. The emails were like, you should look into this Governor Cox because he likes trans. So they're open and close. That feels to me always just like Fed bait, left versus right? He likes trans people, so it has to be him. Like I said, MAGA, my dad's extra MAGA. That's supposed to make people that are on the left go, oh my gosh, see, it's because of MAGA dad. It's like so ridiculous. And then on the right, you're supposed to go trans. It's a trans person. We've talked about this and da 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 da. This is not left or right. I don't care. Do stop trying to make this a trans issue or right. That whole debate, it's low. It's not right versus left. It's not black versus white. It's not gay versus straight. It is good versus evil and the truth versus lie. Come together and fight this evil. Yes, we did this left and right. We are fighting opposite sides of the same coin. It's us versus them.
Now, I'll say this. She's absolutely right there. Okay, broken clock, all that shit. But it is very much designed. But I don't know if she'll ever say the left versus right debate is something that is largely perpetrated by the media. You know, one of the things I like about my job is when I talk to people and we get on the subject of politics, I let them bring it up. I'll explain it like you've got two sides and there's like, you know, it's like a Venn diagram. And the more you talk to people on either side, you could probably start to add more items into that middle part, into the Venn part of the diagram in order to show that we are more alike than we are not. Now, you have also, you're going to have your, you know, out there stuff that neither side is going to agree with, but you could probably find enough middle ground to at least make some compromise and some actual change. And that's the key. But the corporate media, largely pushed by Fox News, because they keep saying they're the underdog, yet they have the highest viewership and they put out the most amount of bullshit. They're the ones I think that are really holding a lot of people back, holding a lot of conversation back, holding a lot of progress back. And then everyone else, CNN, MSNBC, whatever the fuck, you know, or now MS Now, whatever the fuck they're called. Everyone else is just trying to hold on. And then you got the rise of the online influencer, the online pundit, the person that talks about it. You know, it's like, look, man, when I talked about all this shit, all those years ago, all the feminist stuff, everything else, those anti-social justice warrior stuff, I was giving my opinion, but I am not an educated person on those subjects, right? I'm like, I think of myself as an informed person, but I wouldn't say that I'm an educated person on those subjects. You know, I'm just giving my feelings and whatever, but my feelings are also manipulated, altered, and twisted by the audience. And they do that for every fucking influencer. The reason why is because your audience is where you get your validation. Your bank account is where you get your validation. So while you are telling them what they want to hear and they are rewarding you for telling them what they want to hear, you are then going to seek further and further confirmation of that as time goes on. Okay, look at like Sargon of Akkad. Carl was, I just want to smoke weed and play video games and everything else. And then now that motherfucker legitimately thinks that he's out there trying to save the West. Like, that's how fucking deranged these people fucking get, you know? And so it ends up showing you, like, the more time you spend in this and the more time that you end up being like that, you're going to think like, you know, you're going to have an elevated ego because everyone around you that listens to you wants you to repeat their opinions back to them. And that is just the way it goes. Okay. Like, I don't like Tucker Carlson because that motherfucker is crazy, but there are people out there who love him because they think that he speaks the truth. Never mind, in court, his defense was like, you cannot believe a single thing Tucker Carlson says. Now, Rachel Maddow is a person that I do like. And I do think Rachel Maddow speaks the truth. But Rachel Maddow, in a court defense, has also said the exact same thing. The thing you have to look at, though, is which commentator, which influencer, which voice you are listening to is actively trying to explain the situation, elevate the situation, or harm the situation. And a lot of the times, the right-wingers And I've seen this coming out of even the far left. They try to harm the situation because they are desperate to hold on to what the fuck they've got. And that's what Candace is doing. It's what Tucker does. It's what Tim Pool does. It's what Nick Fuentes does. It's what like fucking the Surfs do. It's what fucking Rational National does. It's what Humanist Report does. You know, it's even like, you know, Sam Cedar. I love Majority Report for Sam Cedar, but when Sam Cedar is not there, Emma Vigland's head is way up her own ass. And she's surrounded by people like Matt Binder, who is just one of the worst fucking assholes. Okay. And so it's like, you've got, again, these echo chambers, these people involved, all of these elements at play that end up really fueling the narrative because people are more financially incentivized or socially incentivized rather than seeking the absolute maximum truth out of it, right? And that sometimes means you look at your own side and go, you all a bunch of fucking morons. And the thing is like the right wing, they'll never do that because they're a monolith. You know, Candace is on the outs and she'll call out the mainstream right, which is good. But then she'll replace it with anti-Semitism nonsense or what other conspiratorial shit she'll come up with, you know? Anyway, we'll keep going.
The elites versus the rest of us. That's it. Everything else is a mirage. And whether you're on the left or the right, that were on the left and people that were on the right, the left and the right must come together when it's not left or right. It is not left or right. It is not left or right. At both on the left and on the right. Both the left and the right, and people that were on the left and people that were on the right, from people on the left or right. Now, if you're on the right, you're supposed to go, yay! Send it to people on the left, send it to people on the right, left versus right. The illusion that it's left versus right, it's in that left-right paradigm. Left versus right illusion. Left and right, we're paying attention. We're told left versus right, but it is not that. And they're upset that we're united, by the way. That's the real risk. That is the real threat to the government, is the left and the right actually uniting. In fact, I love that people on the left and right are finally coming together. There's something here for everyone if you want to take the low-hanging fruit and think of this as left versus right, right? So if you're like, you know, on the right, you're like, I need to blame the left, then it's like, whoa, the trans thing is here. But if you're on the left and you need to blame the right, well, Dad was a diehard MAGA. We're not taking the MAGA bait. The dad MAGA, he's been more MAGA than ever. And then it's like, oh, over here, the trans. Neither.
Okay, that clip popped up on another one too. Oh, dear God. What did you do, H. Barts? What the fuck did you do? Hold on, let me bring this up here. He's doing some shit. Okay.
Stop it.
All right, hold on here. This is, let's see. Is this Andy Warhol? Oh, no.
AI art is just as good as real art. That's the deal. And the people who try to stop it, the anti-AI artists, they're evil. Art is anyone's who dares. AI art is just as good.
You know, I think Andy Warhol would be in support of AI art. He would probably use it too. That's the thing I love about the whole AI art conversation is like all the people getting right about it. And you're like, dude, in 5 years, less than 5 years, everyone's going to be proficient at it, right? But I figured it the fuck out too. It's like Syndrome at the end of fucking Incredibles, right? That whole thing about like when I'm done and I've had my fun, I'm going to make all of this shit available to everybody. And so when everybody's super, nobody is. And that's the thing. It's the people that do this. They think that they're super. They're afraid of losing their relevance. And many of them never had any relevance to begin with. And that's not their fault. It's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? It's like, look at someone like Brandon, who's probably here and getting ready to piss off Spherical Man. But like Brandon's art, he's trying, you know, but it's like, it's not good. And it could be good if he takes what he has done and he can figure out a way to use AI to work better for him. That would be something that would be better for him. That would help get him faster to where he wants to go. And to be able to have something, because look, here's the thing, man. You can spend 20 fucking years working on something. And at the end of 20 years, if you still don't have anything good to show for it, then did you just waste 20 fucking years on one project? You know, like this is the biggest problem, is that in many ways, people don't realize that like in order to be a person who will be able to do this as a profession, it requires you to work more and more efficiently than literally anybody else. especially in the arts and entertainment industry. We are now required to put out content on a daily basis, sometimes multiple times a day, right? Like we're required to do that in order to build up a trust with the audience to then find a way to monetize. And I don't want to break all this back down to fucking money, but it's true. But it's fucking true. If you are an artist creating content on the internet, it's no longer about creating one webcomic a week. Now it's one webcomic a day. I want to show you guys something before we go on to the other shit. Okay, there's a guy that I've been a couple people that I've been watching on the side. All right, and there's this guy here. I'm just gonna show this guy. Okay, this guy, his name is Jack's Nightmares. I don't know why it's not loading up. Okay, all right. So Jack's Nightmares here. All right, he's got 22,600 subscribers, 336 videos. Okay, 84,000 views in the last 7 days. Earns anywhere between $565 to $2K a month, right? But I think he's got Patreon as well. But this guy is your ultimate destination for spine-chilling creepypasta horror stories from the darkest corners of the imagination. Dive into a world of eerie encounters, sinister legends, and creepy mysteries that will keep you awake at night. From unsettling urban legends to ghostly apparitions and nightmare-inducing stories, we bring you the scariest content to haunt your dreams. The truth of the matter is, not so much anymore. But he posts, I just want to show you guys this. So he drops episodes pretty frequently. Okay, almost every day. Here's one. I survived the first 30 days of a zombie outbreak in a treehouse compound. 1 hour, 21 seconds. 2,000 views, posted 11 hours ago. 1 day ago. Okay, 1 day ago. I camped inside abandoned shopping mall during the zombie apocalypse. 4.3 thousand views. Right, I found an old manual on how to survive the zombie apocalypse written 90 years ago. I actually listened to this whole one. It wasn't bad. Okay, it's an interesting way of telling the story. He uses AI for everything. But look at this here. It's the same kind of thumbnail. There was a zombie outbreak in Alaska, 90 days after the zombie outbreak, 60 days after the zombie outbreak, 30 days after the zombie outbreak, right? I think these stories are somewhat connected. Some of them are. I'm a combat prepper who survived 30 days in the zombie apocalypse. And that's a lot of what it is. Black Friday zombie outbreak. I hunt zombies for a living because the dead are worth more to, right? All of this stuff. Okay. Right. Another Black Friday zombie outbreak. Okay. And then he did another one. All right. 2 weeks ago, 13 days ago. So he posted this shit. He's posting shit constantly. I'm just going to scroll down. I'm just gonna, look at this here. This is what this, and look, they're all about an hour long. They're all roughly about an hour long. They all translate to roughly about, I want to say, about probably 9,000 words. I've grabbed a bunch of the transcripts and I've kind of run them through word counters and whatnot. And but a lot of this shit is just zombie stuff, and it's not even really much about the zombies. It's really more about just other things that he does. But this guy falls into the category of what you would say is competence porn. Okay, the stories are methodical. The stories are kind of like very much in the vein of needing to go here, do this sort of thing, right? But I listened to a few of these, and the problem with them is that they are in many ways boring after about 20 minutes. And the reason why they're boring after about 20 minutes is because nothing really happens. It's just a guy monologuing what he did. And it's interesting at times, but this just keeps going on. 8 months ago, look at all this, right? And it's all zombies all the time. I'm a juvenile inmate who escaped my cell during the zombie outbreak, right? Now, I don't know necessarily what his average view duration is. I'd love to know that. But you can see here, he started doing these 40-minute whatever ones. He started doing a little bit better. So the longer the story, about an hour long, is the sweet spot. But anything less than that is not going to get a lot of shit here. Because look here. Okay, let's not meet horror stories. This is what he was doing a year ago. He was doing these creepypasta stories. Okay, and clearly AI thumbnails, AI everything. Even the voice is AI. Okay, but he's doing all this shit. And then it's getting nothing. And then he comes up here and he says, I'm a firefighter who survived the first 12 hours of a zombie outbreak. Creepypasta. 5,700 views. Okay. And then after that, he just kept kind of pulling the same thing, right? I'm a delivery driver for Creepy Desert. That one barely did anything. I took a job as a curator. Now I can't escape the woods. Barely did anything, right? World War II bunker. They're breaking in. Like, again, this is kind of like zombies. All of this shit. This guy puts out content on a near daily basis. We're talking an hour video each, using AI voices, using AI writing, AI video, probably even AI music and everything else. And it's like he has figured out more or less how to turn it into a content factory. And as this stuff grows, he'll make a lot of money off of it because he is getting that audience is finding the repetition. That audience is finding the stories at least to be somewhat interesting. And they don't care that it's AI. Okay, here we go. Look, I'm just going to show you guys this for a second. Okay.
Jack's nightmares.
Does he, no, shut up. Anyway, are they any good?
I did not go to the mall for nostalgia or because I missed food courts and music echoing off tile. I came here because it was concrete, steel and glass in a world that had turned into open ground and broken fences. From the outside, the place looked dead. Half the letters on the main sign had fallen, and ivy had started to climb the lower walls. The parking lot was a graveyard of sun-faded cars, and a few burned shells near the entrance. That was the part I liked. Anyone passing by would see another dead box on the horizon and keep walking towards some place that still had smoke or movement. The side delivery entrance had been my way in. The main doors at the front were still chained with thick cable, and the glass there had spiderweb cracks from something hitting it hard again and again. The delivery dock roll-up gate was half open, jammed.
Yeah, okay. Parallax brings up the Indian voice. You know what? It sounds like European, and it sounds kind of English. But yeah, I caught the Indian accent on the back end of it, right? Now, again, I listened to this, not this one. I listened to the other one. And it's him going from point A to point B to point C, but it's this happens, and then that happens, and then this happens. Now, I did show a couple of you guys that radio reptilian thing I'd done, and I did the AI voice for that as well. And if you listen to that, it's more of a think of a George Norrie coast to coast kind of riff, sort of thing. And that one, if you listen to that, there's a progression as it goes on. But this guy just goes in there and says, write me like a 9,000 word story based upon this using this style. And that's what he does. And it's interesting, but then that's not the only one, right? There's another guy that I check out, and this guy's pretty funny, because I asked him actually on his Patreon about what he uses to do his AI voice, and he banned me for that. But this guy here, Apocast, right, or Apocast, whatever. Okay, this guy posts just about as much as the other guy, right? Or every other couple days, right? 3 uploads per week, average video length, 83 minutes. All right. And it gets about the same amount of fucking views. And this guy is all different because every one of his stories are all part of the same formula. And I'm not even making that up. It's a person at a radio broadcast telling you how the world fell. Then that person tells you like their involvement in how the world fell. Then that person tells you how they survived the world falling, and then taking you through everything. Okay. And again, same structural problem happens, is that they don't spend the time based upon the output. Look at this here. 1 hour, 14 minutes, 2 hours, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 12 minutes, 203. I think this one's like a collection of them or whatever, right? You're listening to the radios. Every mass disappeared every 27 years sort of thing. And again, he has a setup, but then it gets to the point where the AI is just creating the beat points to get to the end, and they follow the same pattern. They just have, it's like Mad Libs for storytelling. And I've thrown a bunch of his transcripts into Gemini and just started talking about it with Gemini because I was just kind of curious how he did it. But my reasoning for bringing this up has everything to do with the fact that it's like when you make content, it doesn't matter what content you make. When you make content for YouTube and you're doing this all the time, this is the kind of thing that ends up being what you end up doing. What I mean by that is like you end up having to mass create as much as humanly possible in order to keep up with the algorithm, to keep up with the Joneses, to keep up with everything. One video a week no longer cuts it. Unless you're able to do something like H-Bomber Guy, which is like a once a year 4-hour video. Quentin Reviews is like a once a year 12-hour video, right? Where it's something that's considered an event. But if you do regular content, like if you're not doing daily content, you are just not going to do anything. And that's what my reasoning here is to bring it up is really all about the media ecosystem, about why Candace is having to do what she's doing. Okay, MAGA is falling apart. Trump is a lame duck president. Charlie Kirk was probably the one person that could have united MAGA because of how much he's liked by the boomers with money and how much social media has pushed him to be a Gen Z star or whatever. He's dead. Sadly, he's dead. He can't do it. There's no one there left to do it. MAGA dies with Trump. There's no one else. Candace Owens is enough of a grifter, smart enough to know how bad things are going to be for that entire movement, her entire career, once all of that ends. So it's a writing on the wall sort of thing. Does AI automatically create images based on the story, or does it have to manually create? You can actually like have the AI, you can summarize and you can have it make an image and then put that into like VO3. This guy will do a lot with VO3 to make images for that, but then he'll just run the same image on a loop, you know, like I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. I kind of did this myself. I'll just show you a basic. It's nowhere near as good as that. I did it just one night. I was bored. And so I did this one, you know, the other day. I showed it to a couple people. I showed a snippet of it, and then I did the full fucking hour-long thing. Okay, so this is it's about a reptile invasion. Okay. This is a reptile invasion one that I put together. So now you've got this disclaimer here.
This is Gideon Marr.
Now the disclaimer, by the way, that radio sound you heard, that was actually AI. I found that. And then you're going to hear distortion in the background, which is actually also white noise that was made with AI. I put together the story with AI, and then I went into Novel Crafter and I spent a couple hours working on the whole story, the full this one was only 5,500 words, I think, or just under 6,000 words. But this story is about discovering that the president is actually a reptile, and it's about almost like the fall of humanity with a reptilian takeover. But the idea is to kind of play out like an old War of the Worlds, coast to coast kind of vibe. Now, what I did is I went into Grok and I had Grok make the live on air image of this guy and then animate it. And then I was able to do a couple other keyframe animations with Grok to kind of put it together. But just to give you, I'll just play it for a second. If you guys want to listen to the whole thing, I'll post a link in the chat for those of you who actually want to listen to the full thing. I know a lot of you probably won't, but it is, here's the full fucking thing. So here we go. This is what it, like, this is just the idea.
If you're hearing my voice right now, you already know something's wrong. I'm not scheduled tonight. I haven't broken format in, well, longer than I'd like to admit. But what I have in front of me can't wait until the weekend show. It can't wait until morning. And I don't think I'd be here to say it if I tried to wait. Let me start plainly. About an hour ago, I received a packet of material from a source deep inside the intelligence community. I won't name the agency. I won't name him. I don't think he's alive anymore anyways. His message to me was one line: I'm done. People need to know. The number he used is dead. The return address is gone. And everything tied to him inside the system has been wiped. That alone should tell you the temperature of the room we're in. Now, before anyone starts rolling their eyes, listen closely. I am not talking about rumors or grainy photos or forum speculation. What I have is a video file and a stack of internal documents that no one outside a certain secured floor in Northern Virginia was ever meant to see. These aren't conspiracy breadcrumbs. This is confirmation.
So, okay, I don't want to play the whole thing because again, it's an hour and 4 minutes, but it's this it's a complete full story. It is a full narrative breakdown of the collapse of our humanity because of a reptilian takeover. All right. And again, not everyone's going to like it. In fact, I started playing it and we lost like 7 fucking people watching. But my whole point for bringing this up again is like, just, this is the kind of shit that ends up kind of being, you know, like done. This isn't, I made this on a whim. It's not even it's really any good. I mean, well, thank you, VH Barts. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, I think the story's cool, but it's like an idea that I was kicking around. Like, you know, could this be done realistically? Could I do something like this, you know, let's say 3 times a week, like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday sort of thing? Because you almost have to with that, right? And the reality of it is expensive as fuck. So, you know, if I was just going to sit there and take like AI and just go to ChatGPT and go, here, write me this, it would be bad. Right. But I pay for Novel Crafter, which is like $8 a month. I pay Open Router. I buy credits through them to work with Novel Crafter. So I go through them to have an API key. And that's honestly like, that's not much. That's about like, I think $10 every 4 months or something. And then, but if I want to do like the audio voice for that one, that's actually a custom generated voice that I had made through 11 Labs. And I think all in all, the entirety of the recording, all hour and 4 minutes, cost me, I want to say about $15 for the audio generation. So imagine just going back over to this guy here. This guy here, again, is using very, very low key voices, right? I'll just like show you a bit of this.
She's outnumbered, but she's good. Creates enough
here.
Those people who actually believed things could get better. Even after the government collapsed and the corporations took over everything. She organized community meetings in our neighborhood on the south side, trying to stop Verdant Corp from seizing the apartment buildings where families had lived for decades. They wanted the land for some luxury development project.
Now, do you notice real quick? Okay, so this thing again, an hour and 10 minutes. Did you hear like the fact that there's no enunciation on the vocals? It's very flat delivery. The reason why it's a very flat delivery is because the guy doing this is going through 11 Labs, and what he's doing is he's paying. He's using their old vocal model, right? Their old vocal model. Sorry, I didn't mean to burp. And the old vocal model is half the token cost of version 3. Now, what I played for you guys, what I did, that was version 3 audio. So if you notice, there was pausing, there was some emotion. It sounded better. Not great, not perfect, right? You know, a human voice will absolutely do better. But asking a person to record this kind of thing, this kind of dialogue 3 times a week at an hour a pop, that's also going to be very expensive. So you have to cut corners if you're going to fucking do this kind of shit. And again, it all goes back to what I'm talking about. The entire creator ecosystem is something that is pushed by fast in, fast out, tons of content, flood the zone. And then if you're lucky to get in the algorithm and to get an audience of people, then you have to fucking maintain that shit. So that becomes the thing. That's the rub. That's where we are. You know, and so it's just kind of crazy. I just, wanted to talk about that because, for one, I enjoy storytelling. The way that I approach storytelling, I think is unique in a very specific way. I was talking with the passenger the other night. She's an avid reader. I was pitching her the stories that I put together, the short stories that I've written. And she was like, begging me to read them. I'm not even making that up. She was like, can I get your email address? So we exchanged emails. She was just like, likes the idea. And I told her I use AI. And she goes, this is what she said to me. She goes, I'm an artist. I'm a writer. She went to film school like I did, like way back in the day. Like when I was like starting film school, she was already like, she's way older than me. And so she was telling me that she was really against AI at first. She really hated it at first. Didn't care for it at all. And then like her ex-husband was using it to write. And she was like, it's so funny because like it takes him more time to fix what was written with AI rather than to write it himself. But she was like, it's funny because he still finds it as a useful enough tool to be able to go in and tweak it. And then she goes, but her son started showing her other things with AI and started showing her projects he was working on with AI and how much he enjoyed working on them with AI. And that ended up being something that kind of drove her towards being more like appreciative of it. And I thought that was fascinating. And that to me shows like the vast majority of people, So again, it requires you to have an idea. It requires you to fine tune that idea. It requires you to go in there and mold it and shape it and get it all ready to go to then make sure that it sounds good. It looks good, that it has the ability to kind of live up to what your expectations of it might be. And then to put it out there in a way that people are going to find it interesting. And it's not always going to work, obviously not, but nothing we ever work on is guaranteed to work. And I think that's kind of the biggest issue with this anti-AI shit, especially in art, is that we're not guaranteed anything. And people who've been trying like hell for years to get their foot in the door, and people who have their foot in the door, they're the ones that are really worried about losing their seat at the table. And I actually think it's the exact opposite. I think we're going to be seeing so much shit that the good stuff is going to rise, right? That the good stuff is going to absolutely rise. And that stuff is going to end up being what people really pay attention to. Green Thumb Blonde here says, you're not very bright. I'm extremely bright. Donovan, go to bed. Okay. H Bart's here says, are the people like Vince Gilligan and Ryan Johnson mad because AI will eventually give regular people a chance to get their ideas out there without having to struggle like they did? Yeah, it was basically what I was just saying. The answer to that is yes. Yes. The answer to that is absolutely yes. It's like, we have always looked for things to make our lives easier. We've always looked to the benefit of technology to aid us. And yet we are on the precipice, the verge of the next evolutionary phase of this paradigm shift, and people are losing their shit because it's finally gotten to the point where you're like, oh, well, damn, holy crap, holy nuts, it's wild, it's crazy, I can't fucking believe it. And yeah, it's there, And again, you're going to see a ton of shit that's good. You're going to see a ton of shit that is bad. You're going to see a lot of stuff that is going to be considered, shit. And here's the thing with that. Have you seen how much human-made art is shit? I mean, like, I guess people are going to be like, well, yeah, my art might suck, but at least it's human. It is what it is. It is what it is. And so on that note, it's we've been on for 2 hours. I'm gonna wrap it up. But I wanted to show you guys this final video that H Barts sent me. Obviously, AI made your logo better than the real artist did. That is very true, and I hate that because I like the guy. But man, he is hard. He is hard to follow on Twitter because it's always complaining with that guy. Always complaining how broke he is, how like he needs jobs. And this is before AI was even like a big deal. He was out there, and he's a really good dude, and he's a good artist. But it's like, man, he's just like what it was is he does like promo work, like t-shirt designs for like wrestlers, and a lot of them are now moving over to the AI thing. And so I get that it's impacting him, but it's like, bro, you gotta reach out and shit. And then when I was like telling him like this is exactly what I want, and he wouldn't give me what I wanted. And he gave me something that I didn't quite like. So I went to AI, and one go with what I wanted. One generation was like exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. I was like, shit, that cost me like a fraction of a cent versus the money I gave him. William is flipping out on Donovan right now. Oh, really? Send me a link on that. We'll check it. We'll take a look at that real quick before I go. Physical media community is so much fucking fighting. Yeah, I love physical media. The community, I just can't engage. A lot of it's Twitter. Twitter is a problem, and it is what it is. All right, let's see what this one is.
Whoa, no way. Phil. Matt, dude, are you kidding me right now? I can't believe this. After all these years. We finally ran into each other. On a random street in the middle of the city. The universe wanted this to happen, I was just thinking the same. Whoa, no way. Phil. Matt, dude, are you kidding me right now? I can't believe this. After all these years. We finally ran into each other. On a random street in the middle.
It doesn't look anything like Phil, but it does sound a bit like me. Jesus Christ. You crazy. All right, let me see if I can find this myself. Okay, hold on here. What does Midnight Sci-Fi Center? What is it? Okay. Oh, it's a Q&A. All right, I'll take a hold on. 15 people watching. My fucking God. Let's see.
I meant to bring this up. We did the Superman watch party. But am I the only? I can't be the only one who like with the Hammer Baradia in Superman. I can't be the only one who like got like a Juggernaut vibe out of that suit.
I did. This is rational. Now you're doing a fourth 1000 for this is your best fourth 1000 impression. William, the same logic you use on Batman Beyond live action.
Can be used for what?
I was not expecting to ever have to buzz you.
The last Ronin.
I think that's the first time I've ever had to do that to you, Rational. All right. Well, here's where that's not true.
Okay.
I'm talking about right.
Oh, here we go.
Our company is going to be going for. Why don't you just buy the whole company then? And none of those companies want to be into linear programming. Paramount wants everything. Paramount wants the channels. Paramount wants CNN. They want it all. The other people just don't want it. And while you're doing that, do not let me do this. All right, dude.
Here we go.
You go, man, because I'm.
What
if you don't, I'm going to.
What prompted you? Were you not reading the room? If we were talking about this as a main topic, I think you would know that. Where the fuck are you coming from with this? It's not in the thumbnail. It's not the dominant. I mean, I mentioned it as an example of using old statistics for anything else. Why did you force? This is why people torture ass when you come into people's chats. You bought some bullshit from left field that nobody's even talking about right now. You know that I'm never going to make this a topic until there is something to talk about. But here you come, forcing your way into this. So, tell you what, dude, come back when you come back in after I time you out, mainly forever. I don't know. Read the room, look at the chat, see what we're talking about, and then jump in. But don't come in like Forrest Gump out of nowhere running in with some bullshit that we ain't even talking about. Goodbye.
Not hold my breath on that, but yeah.
What do we do? Guys, please listen. It's a no topic type of thing, but
I mean, he screenshots every single thing I post about this from behind a block.
That's Brad Stalker, though. I don't have stalkers. I think K Marco is.
I feel your pain about Donovan.
No, I don't think it's too early.
I don't
think it's too early for Doomsday.
There we go.
I think we need a trailer.
Okay, that was great. I think Donovan seriously loves watching all the guys. I said this last night. The amount of time that he spends stalking everything I say, and even tonight, I checked his Twitter. I was bored while we were watching one of the Candace things, and he's still talking about it. Right? He'll be like, he'll talk about it covertly. But again, Donovan, I know you're listening. Okay. Where's your art, buddy? Right? What have you been doing? You say you're a hard worker, right? You say you're doing all this shit and you don't post anything. No one has ever seen anything you've done, not even one iota, not even one frame. Not one lick of creativity comes out of you. I don't understand it. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. I'm trying to understand the struggle. I'm trying to get it, man. I really am. I don't understand it, right? How can you expect people to take you seriously as an artist when you don't show your art? But all you do is you spend all day retweeting other people's opinions on social media or trying to screenshot people like Brad and I and then tagging a ton of other people hoping to get any kind of attention. And they never give you any attention, right? You criticize me for using AI, but yet you retweet Slav's Free Talks, and that guy uses AI for his social media posts, for his images, for his articles. He uses ChatGPT. He uses generative AI all the time. And yet you never criticize him all the time. You never criticize him ever. You 100% back up everything that he posts, that you retweet, without ever criticizing the fact that he is using generative AI when he is doing it. How hypocritical is that? How crazy is that? Think about that, right? There's a guy that you love to get the attention of, uses AI for everything, and you're like, oh man, I'm never going to say a word about that. But Brad talks about the Snyderverse, I mentioned AI, and you got to be there, fucking snip, 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 screenshot and everything. All the while trying to act like you've got some kind of higher intelligence, which you don't. You will never show your art. Fuck, dude, Brandon shows his art. It ain't good, but he shows it. So that's why no one takes you seriously. That's why every day you go on to Twitter and you scream and yell and cry into the void. That you hope somebody will give you that iota of attention to justify your existence to some capacity. He loves you, Charbo Candyman. Oh no, he absolutely does. He you should have seen him when Argyle was coming out. He was constantly talking about Argyle, right? Constantly bringing up Argyle. And then Argyle was trashed. And everything else. But on that note, guys, it is getting late. I gotta go tinkle. Yeah, I said it. Again, weirdos are gonna weirdo. I'm probably gonna get back to posting some thoughts over on $3 Theater. I don't think I'm gonna live stream on that channel much anymore, if at all. Just build up some like little just kind of like thought videos. Give my takes on what's going on, because I still want to talk about it, but I don't want to make it like anything like a show, and I don't want to like have any kind of whatever with that. I do want to talk about what is it, the Rush Hour 4 thing. That's interesting, and maybe I'll do that tomorrow. And then I don't know. I'm gonna try to take my kids to go see Zootopia 2. They really want to go see Zootopia 2. There you go. Can you buy him Dispatch? Can I buy who Dispatch? Where can I hold on? Is it just on PC? Is Dispatch? Yeah, is Dispatch on Xbox? Okay, the game initially launched for PC, PlayStation 5, and they are looking into additional platforms. Okay, can I just watch the video of Dispatch? Or do I need to play? Can I just watch a playthrough? Because I feel like if I just watch a playthrough, I'll get the same experience. Donovan, buy Donovan Dispatch since you wanted the gift card. Oh, yeah. Buy Dispatch for myself and brag about it. Yeah, that's true. Has been. I know you want has been. Trump should greenlight Dread too. Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Oh wait, real maybe. Hold on. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna quickly check. Crying McMartin, and see if he's been posting anything. Nah, he's okay. Yeah, okay. He has he's still tweeting about me. Still tweeting about me as of an hour ago. Aspiring graphic designer. Yeah, aspire these nuts, bitch. It's a choose adventure. Yeah, I know, but still, I mean, there's still only so many places you can go with it. But all right, everyone, thank you all so much for hanging out. Really appreciate it. I will probably be on tomorrow night. I ain't got nothing going on. It's the holiday week, and I'm trying to save money instead of going out. So, all right, everyone, peace out. I'll talk to you then, and bye.
Turn off that pesky ad block.